everybody. Hey, Felicia.
Hey, Meka. Hello, everyone. We're both wearing yellow again.
Oh my gosh, we did that again. I love it. I love it. Is yellow a power color?
It is to me.
I love it. I love it. Well, you guys, welcome to the aftermath of the Central Florida Entertainment Advocacy Forum. So
Mhm.
glad that you're here with us. We have kind of a packed night for you here, and we're excited that we have so much to say after a forum where we had so much to say. Who knew we would still have so much to say, Felicia?
Yeah.
You
Yes.
are
So thank you guys
you're
for tuning in. Please share it on your page and tag someone so that people can watch and join in on the conversation. You can chat and ask questions while we are talking. And if you remember anything that was impactful from the forum and you just want to give that feedback, we love that as well. So please, please, please share this stream.
please share because we want everyone in on this exciting news. First up on the agenda, we want to thank all of you who took time out to attend the forum. Thank you so much. It meant so much to us. I mean, so when we started this kind of felt like one of those Indiana Jones leap of faith moments where it was like, hopefully, if you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
So we kept plowing and we kept building, but not really knowing what to expect or how people were going to receive it or how the community was going to respond. And I want you to know that when we saw that we had over 300 people registered, it was amazing. Like it was so unbelievable. We were so excited about that. And we knew that we were embarking on something great, something that this entire community felt the importance of. This entire community felt the need to come together and be in the room and start the dialogue and to do this work. And so we were just amazed at the people who showed up, who wanted to be there and who wanted to do this with us. So we have a few people that we want to thank. First of all, because you don't do anything like what we did by yourself.
Right.
There's always so many people involved behind the scenes, and so we want to just take a moment So, yeah, so thank you to all those people. And now we're back. So I'm just going to let y'all know Imani is actually not here tonight. So I'm the stage manager tonight. So when you see things a little wonky, just know that it's not Imani, it's me, because, I got to be all things. So we just want to say thank you to all those people. And Felichia,
Yes.
how are you feeling since the forum?
Man, that's a loaded question. I think after the forum, I was just super relieved and overwhelmed. Relieved because we wanted so much for it to be received, for people to hear, and then overwhelmed because the feedback was just so great from allies and members of the Black community. And so it was very, very encouraging. I think it was just realizing like, oh, okay, that was just the beginning. It was just not a moment in time, but literally just a movement that we were a part of. So, but overall, so grateful because we had such good participation. Now I'm just like, okay, we got to keep going. That's how I feel.
That's awesome. Well, I don't really know how I feel. I think I'm still processing.
Yeah.
I think I'm still processing. I probably need to go lie on someone's couch and talk it out. But I honestly, I'm overwhelmed is a great word. It's a great word because I just am so overwhelmed at the response and the feedback that we got, and just for some of the people who were in the room to be there in the room. I was definitely overwhelmed by that, and just grateful for so many people to have taken this work so seriously. I'm going to share with you some of the things that people have said to me about attending the forum. Someone said, "I am forever changed, and this work has forever changed this community." Wow. That's
Wow.
huge.
That is huge.
And they also said that the forum started something within a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I was especially glad to hear that, because that is really one of the main things that we were seeking to accomplish. We wanted people to become more aware. We wanted people to dig deep and soul search, and really just be introspective to find out, how can I contribute to these solutions? Or how have I contributed to the problem?
Yeah.
How can I do better? How can I be better?
Mm-hmm.
What have I done that could have been, one of those stories? Or what have I seen that I didn't speak up for that could have been, one of those stories? So we wanted that stirring to start inside of people, and to know that happened is such an accomplishment. And someone else said that it broke down the walls of our socially distanced world.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's major. That's major. Because we all have been at home for a long time.
Yeah.
And it has not felt great.
Yeah.
And for someone to feel so connected to this forum and the work, that it in part made them connected to others in our community, that is so awesome.
Yeah.
And they said they truly felt like it was a conversation and an invitation to the movement. Dropping the mic right there.
That is big. Wow.
Dropping the mic right there. That statement alone.
I know. We need to quote that and put it somewhere. That is everything. That's exactly what we wanted. All were welcome, and we wanted people to come for that reason.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the fact that, people have embraced the fact that this is not just a moment. This is not just something that we jump on the bandwagon for because, of course, the Black Lives Matter movement is the catalyst for all of that. And we can never diminish or deny that.
Right.
But we have to understand that when those headlines go away, when they're no longer, featuring those stories on the news, when people are not flooding the streets anymore, we still are left in these communities to do this work. We
Yeah.
are still left in these industries to keep plowing and keep digging and keep doing this work.
Yeah.
And so to know that people in our community feel invited to the movement, that they understand that this is not just defined by a moment, that this is not just a moment that happened, that this is something continual. I'd say hallelujah.
Yeah. That's everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm so excited about that. So, did you have any feedback, anything you've heard people have said to you about the
Yeah.
forum?
People were overall, I think, very, very impressed. I got that impression. They were just impressed with how we were able to create a space for people to tell their stories. Because someone said to me that this is the first time we've ever heard about what was happening. We knew that things were happening in our community, but there's never been a platform for people to tell their stories and to be heard. And I think for me, that was probably one of the most valuable things that we could have given, was a chance for people to be heard without repercussion. So that really stood out to me. And really, people just felt they left knowing what they could do next immediately, which was important, because the work can sometimes seem overwhelming. And so they were grateful for an opportunity to have real-time understanding of what they could do next to start to see change in their organization. So tons of great feedback.
That's so cool. And we've got some feedback in the comments right now. From Joyce, who says, I was grateful and humbled at the vulnerability and trust from the speakers who shared their stories.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, y'all were so brave, so brave. And I have posted about this, but like putting it in, like verbalizing it, like I don't even know that I can verbalize the pressure that I felt on day 2, knowing that our community was going to come and share their stories, and that it was going to be hard and it was going to be raw, and we didn't know how it was going to be received. We didn't know how it was going to be supported. And so I felt, I guess, like a mother hen, in that moment, so protective of everyone who was going to open their mouth that night. And I literally, like, Felichia and I talked to each other afterwards, and we were like, yeah, we definitely need to go lay on somebody's couch after this because we were shaking, we were nervous.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people have said, oh, we couldn't tell, but oh no, trust me, we were so nervous because we had no idea how these stories were going to be received. And we wanted to protect the people who were telling them, but we also wanted them to have a voice. We also wanted people to know, what they've endured and what they've been through and what they've seen. And we wanted people to know that, like, no matter what part of the industry you're in, you're not exempt. You're not exempt from it. It's happening everywhere. And so we really have to be aware of that. We have to be cognizant of that. We have to, open our hearts and be willing to that, to listen to that. And people were, and I'm so glad that people were. And I'm so glad that what we're hearing from Joyce is generally, what we're hearing, that, they were humbled and grateful for the story. So thank you for that, Joyce. We have a lot of stories that people have shared, but we don't want to spend all night on that because we've got a lot of stuff we want to let you know about. So first things up, we also did an artist showcase where we raised funds for artists and entertainers in our community who are in need. And we did this in the midst of planning this huge forum, and everyone thought I was crazy when I was like, let's raise money too. But we wanted to.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did, because it turned out, it was amazing.
And thank you to all the artists that participated in the showcase. The showcase got its own attention as well. Orange TV's Live from Home Vision Talk Show actually featured the showcase. And so they interviewed me and they featured some of the artists that we had in the showcase, CC Tennille and DJ Young and Kiana Young. So we were so excited that, you know, it got that kind of attention and people were able to see that. And it's actually, if you haven't seen it, it's running on demand. If you have Spectrum cable, it's on demand. And I tried to post it to my page, but I don't think it worked. So I'm going to try again. But we're so thankful to Renata Sago for giving the showcase that attention and allowing us to raise even more funds. And so you guys,
Yeah.
for that, the CFEA Artist Outreach, we were able to raise $2,500.
Woo!
And I'm so happy and excited about that. And what we plan to do is, and we've already started actually, we've already given out 2 grants to artists. And we have 11 more to give out because we were able to do 13 $200 grants. And, you know, I know that's not paying the mortgage and that's not, you know, paying the car note, but it can buy some groceries or pay a light bill or, you know, something that's an immediate need. And so we just wanted to be able to offer something to lighten the load, to lighten the burden. We know that this is not an easy time. We know that we are going through difficulty all around. You know, it's so crazy that we're in the middle of this pandemic and, you know, facing all of this uncovering of the stuff that's going on, you know, in our nation, in our world. But we wanted to be able to be of service and to be a light. So if you know someone, or if you are someone who is in need and you want to receive funding, we definitely have that open and available. You can email us at cfeaforum@gmail.com. That's cfeaforum@gmail.com. And we'll post that again later in the live. But cfeaforum@gmail.com if you are an artist or entertainer in any capacity, behind the scenes, on stage, what have you, musician. It's open to everyone. Open to everyone. Thank you. Did you put it in the comments, Felichia?
Mm-hmm.
She's on it. I love it. Thank you. So yes, you can email us and I'm going to not give it away yet, but we've got some other things in place that'll make assisting you with those funds a little bit easier. So yeah, so that's our fundraising. We are also obviously, because $2,500 is not going to help the entire community, and we know that our entire community is in need. So CFEA will continue to take donations and we will continue to have funds on hand on an emergency basis. But after we have distributed the 13 grants that we have allotted for our organization, we will definitely then partner with the Greater Orlando, what is the rest of the acronym?
Performers
Alliance
Relief. Together, we could do it.
I love it. GOPAR is the acronym, and that organization is basically all of arts and entertainment coming together. This is theaters, this is churches, this is entertainment companies, all leadership from those organizations coming together and raising funds for artists in need. And so that will continue. If you have joined our Facebook page, you will see there that we have posted the Feed the Need events. So GOPAR, this organization, is also a partner in that. And they have been offering meals every Tuesday at the Plaza and every Friday at St. Luke's. And they are continuing to do that. And I just want to let you guys know that this is available to anyone and everyone working in the arts and in entertainment. And I think that a lot of people think like, oh, no, I can't go get food because, you know, I'm not that much in need. Well, they asked us to stress that You don't have to be destitute to come there. They really just want to be a blessing to those of us who are, shut down right now and trying to figure a lot of things out. And it just might help on 1 or 2 days a week to have a meal made for you or for your family, and that you don't have to worry about that. So you don't have to be, $0 in the bank to come and benefit from what they're doing every Tuesday at Plaza Live and every Friday at St. Luke's. So we will definitely, after our funds have been distributed, we will partner with GoPar to continue to get artists the resources and the help that they need. And this extends beyond financially. It's also mental health. And they are really just working hard to make sure that, during this time, we are well-rounded and have the resources that we need. So yay, GoPar. We're excited about partnering with you. Do you have something, Felichia?
Yeah. Terry is on. Hi, Terry. Thank you for joining.
Oh, yay.
He also mentioned it's also a spirit-raising event with people greeting you and entertainers entertaining as well. So we're so thankful for GoPar, St. Luke's, and how we can partner with them, because if it's anything that we need right now is that encouragement. So definitely that's another way that you can get involved. And if you want to volunteer with them, you can do that as well.
Okay, also, did I get it wrong? Somebody's telling me that it's Tuesday at St. Luke's and Friday at Plaza Live. Terry, tell me if that's correct or not. Because I thought it was the other way around. However, they do have a website that's coming out, and you can get all the real information.
Yeah, it's Tuesday and Friday, because she was there Friday, and we got to talk to her. She was there. I just remember that.
Yeah, it's Tuesday and Friday, but I'm trying to figure out which place, because I said
Friday's at the Plaza.
Friday. Okay, so I did say it backwards. So it's Tuesday at St. Luke's and Friday at Plaza Live. Sorry, guys. A lot of stuff in this brain. And sometimes, it's like crossing wires. But it's the Greater Orlando Performing Artists Relief Fund. So that's GoPar.
Yeah.
And yeah, they have live entertainment out there. So you can come and, just take your mind off of everything that is happening and, be with the people that we love, of course, socially distant and with your mask on, because we are responsible and we want to get back to work. So we are abiding by the rules so that we can do just that. But thank you guys. Thank you, GoPar, for partnering with us. We're so excited about that. So we want to talk about now. Brayshana said, that's okay. It's a beautiful brain. Thank you. So now we want to talk about some of the things that have happened.
So much. You've been in a lot of meetings, Meka. Like every day, Meka's been on a call, 5 calls a day, and a lot of meetings. So tell us what's going on.
That's why my brain is what it is, because it's all great stuff. It's amazing and it's wonderful. And I need a real assistant, actually. So if anybody wants to volunteer besides Lizzie, because Lizzie fires herself from being my assistant almost every other day. But yes, it's such exciting stuff that's happening. Felichia and I both have had meetings with all of the Central Florida artistic directors and for theater, and mostly all of theater and arts leadership. And this is a meeting or a committee that has been happening before we even did the forum. So we're so excited about the fact that, some people have been putting in the effort to do this work long before, we introduced it. This is not, something new to a lot of you. And we're so glad to hear that. However, we know that, even in that, there's been a lack of representation. And so we were invited to come in on these meetings, and it has been super, super insightful to hear about behind the scenes what all of these theaters are working on and trying to put in place. And I just want to let the community know that they are working. They are working. They are putting in the effort, and they are listening. They are listening to not just your stories, but your concerns, your voices. they are hearing. And
Yeah.
so, we are there, we're present in these meetings, and we know, how things are unfolding, and know that, like we said, even with the, the GoPar stuff, we realize that this is overall a hard time. And so imagine what these leaders are going through during this difficult time. Imagine all of the stuff that they're facing, not being sure, when they can do their shows, or how they can do their shows, or what's allowed or what's not allowed. And then on top of that, just as important, this diversity and inclusion work. And a lot of them are making it a priority. And so I want you to be assured in that a lot of them are hearing, and they are definitely making it a priority. I also met with leadership from the Orlando Fringe, and they have some exciting things that they are putting together to make sure that their process, and how they choose the shows that are presented and the writers that are presented, making sure that that process is definitely more equitable and more diverse. And I am so excited about that, because they are definitely serious about this work, and they are asking the right questions, and they're putting their money where their mouth is. And so I can just say, as a person who traditionally didn't visit Fringe because it didn't represent me, I think that's going to turn around for sure. That's definitely going to turn around, and we're going to see so many more both writers and diverse representation on the stages. Like, it's going to turn around. And so I'm excited about that.
Yes.
And a lot of people have reached out and started equity, diversity, and inclusion committees and strategies within their organizations. So that's one of the things that we were really, really adamant about. Like, fix it, please. And a lot of these places are calling on the right people. Like I said, they're asking the right questions. We have had the theater side, but we are looking to have more representation within the local entertainment companies and TV, film, and casting. We want to open up the dialogue. We want to have these conversations. We want to have these meetings, because, and I'm going to let y'all know right now, theater is going hard. Theater is going very hard to make things right. And so we're going to hold everyone to the same standard. So if you own an entertainment company, please know that, like, we're holding you to the standard as well. Like, TV and film, we're holding you to the standard as well. Casting, agencies, we're holding you to the standard as well. Theater can't be the only one. It's not the only part of arts and entertainment. So we have to make all of it, the entire industry. That is what we're striving for. We want to make the entire industry equitable and more diverse. So we're watching, y'all. Listen now. And Felichia, you want to talk about the partnerships?
Yeah. Talking about, we have, can you hear me?
Now I can. You were frozen for a second.
Okay. Yes, if I freeze again, just let me know. Hopefully not. But yeah, we've been so fortunate to be able to get in on those behind the scenes conversations, and really are grateful for people that have reached out to us, whether it's in something that we can do or something that we can't. We're just glad that you are thinking about when it comes to equity, diversity, and inclusion in the arts and entertainment for our local. So with that, some things we've been able to jump on, immediately, and some things are going to take a little bit more time, but the wheels are turning, things are developing, and what that looks like, our mentorship opportunities, even discussing positions at different organizations, new positions that can be had. And like Meka said, it's a challenging time right now, especially for theaters, because, and just entertainment, because we lost the ability to gather. However, I'm really proud of those organizations that are seeing what we can do right now, as opposed to focusing just on what we can't do. And what we can do is create change, instill policies, create new positions, and start to get the work going so that when we are up and running, that we will already have done the groundwork that's necessary for some of the changes that we need to see. I know one thing we talked about consistently with the forum was if you know one, grow one. And that's something that we have gotten, tons of feedback, people just being honest and say, we put a notice out there, but we didn't get a lot of, Black female writers, or we didn't get a lot of people to apply for this position. And we're happy to eradicate that excuse. And really, we continue to encourage people, if you don't know one, grow one, reach out to someone that you know who is. You can reach out to us. There are other organizations within our community, like Black Theater Girl Magic and other organizations that have, position themselves and open themselves up. So really, we're going to continue to push that message because we're at the position where we can grow overall. So that's super, super, super important. But we're proud of the conversations that are happening and more proud of the actions that are being taken immediately. And that even includes new programming, new shows, new series within your, your regular scheduled season. There is room for that. And so we really want to acknowledge the theaters and organizations that are doing that, because that's the change that we, need to see. And on the other flip side of that, we also have heard about some things that have been brought to our attention. I'm not going to go into them specifically, because if you're on social media, then you probably know. But like Meka said, we are watching and the community is watching. And with our forum, it wasn't about shame, and it wasn't about, we didn't want people to just lose their jobs. What we wanted was for people to take this seriously, be introspective, and do the work and to change. And so I just want to, encourage those who are doing this work, especially if you're feeling like, you're doing enough. If you hear something, I want to bring up Darvo, because I know there is a tendency to not take what someone's saying, at face value, just that situation, and just start to make it about yourself. But if someone brings something to you that is not right or not equitable, that you would hear them, not make it about you, and evaluate, what can I do now to change this? So that's that. But we're glad that people are we're glad that people are being able to spot these things, because ultimately we just want to see the change. So that's in regards to issues in our community to our attention. But we also want you to know that we as a community have our heart and our pulse on the community. Like Meka said, we're really trying to find more partners in film and television so that we can have a presence there. But we are working internally, because what we want to do on the basic level is provide resources. And then beyond that, we want to provide training, workshops, and literally tangible things and things that you can implement right away, so that you can have the help that you need. CFEA is that we are somewhat of that bridge, and Meka will go into that more later. But we're not just here to tell you what you're doing wrong. We're here to tell you how to do it right and what you can do to make it right. And so that's that's a part of our purpose here. But also with our forum, we talked about points of action, which were super, super clear and important. We wanted to challenge you to look at your leadership. We wanted to challenge you to look at areas of opportunity in your organization.
Hey, I got them right here.
Oh, can you? Yes, thank you. Yes, and I just want to briefly bring this back up, because it's worth repeating. We expect to see more Black industry professionals on your board of directors. That gives you room that by changing your bylaws, make your board a teaching board. That was a key point, and way around, some of the things that we heard were, prohibiting that from happening. Every seat that's filled, the member can sponsor a seat. Something that you can do right now just takes your time and your attention. You can go to the next one, Meka. We expect to see more Black and brown artistic directors, producers, and educators. They are out there, and we're going to do our part by helping with our directory. But in the meantime, while we're getting that together, because it does take, a little bit of work, who do you know? Who's in your phone? Who are you talking to? Start with your network. And if you don't know, you can come and ask us, but we expect to see Black and brown artistic directors, producers, and educators change your leadership immediately. Probably I think one of the most important ones, because some people keep making the same mistakes, and I think it just boils down to you can't go past leadership. So even if you have staff that is doing the work and wanting to change things, ultimately whoever makes those decisions is who you have to kind of give way to. So your immediate leadership should reflect an equitable and diverse and inclusive leadership. Black representation is important in all areas of creative leadership. Next one.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Okay, sorry. I'm not Imani, but I just wanted to say something to that before we moved on to the next one. One of my good friends, his mom has a lengthy career in corporate America and like Fortune 50 companies. I'm talking about these big billion-dollar corporations. And at the beginning of her journey and what she did, what we would now call diversity and inclusion back then was affirmative action. And she basically said something that I thought was just, it's not even rocket science, but it's so true. And she basically said that she hung up the reins on that part of her career for the simple fact that it's just not that hard. She said the reason that things are not more diverse and that they're not more equitable is because people just don't want to do it.
Mm.
So if you think about that, like if you really simplify it to that point that it's not that hard. If I want to make this happen, I can make this happen.
Yeah.
The only barrier or building block to this is us. We either do it or we don't. And this is from someone who worked with Fortune 50 companies, who was like, I can sit here and train you and teach you and show you the way all day long. But until you make up in your mind that this is something that you want to accomplish, until you act and make sure that it's something that you are manifesting, then it won't happen. And so I don't want us in this community to get to the place where we're saying all the right things, we're having all the right intentions, but we're not doing the things to follow up to make sure that what we're saying actually happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that hard. We just have to want to do it. And then we have to do it. The responsibility is on us at this point. Okay, I'm done with my sermon.
I agree with you. I also think about it like if your organization, someone came to you and said, you have to change your leadership organization or we're shutting you down. If you cared about that organization, the life and the value that it brings to this community, wouldn't you make that change? I think once we can value equity, means for Black lives and what that means for our community as a whole. How much better are we as a community if we are all represented, if we all have a space, you know what I mean? If we all have real estate in this vast industry, how much better would we be? And once that value changes, then I believe where we have seen resistance, we'll see action. But for now, change your leadership. We also expect to see the stories of BIPOC playwrights and actors told with intention and integrity in all of your seasons, shows, productions, series, festivals, anything that you're doing. If you produce a work by a playwright or screenwriter of color, to see a non-white person directing it. So seasons, your shows and productions, and make this quantifiable and measurable number. So like Meka said, it's not that hard. We are here. There are tons of talented people here in Central Florida. that can do the work and do it beautifully. So we expect to see that.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we have noticed in the weeks beyond the forum. That's one of the things that has come up multiple times. And so we just want to reiterate that. We just want to encourage you guys to really, really examine your practices on this, examine, your numbers, examine, and this, again, as we expressed before, this is not, again, for you to lower any standard or not accept quality, because there's high standard quality Black professionals that are here in this area. And so we can't say that they're not here, that we're not here. We showed them to you. And that was just a handful. So they're there, and really we should not, and I'm just gonna say this, and I say it in love, please take it in love, but we're just not gonna accept seeing these cast lists with all white people. That's just, that day's done. That day is done.
Yes.
And we don't want to go on your websites and see your entire creative team all white. Like, it's really, I'm treading lightly, but also trying to, that's something we got to stand firm on. Like, look around at what you're presenting and what the representation is and what you're presenting, and ask yourself, is this fair? Is this equitable? Is this just? Is this diverse? And if the answer is no to any one of those, then that's when you start digging in and doing the work and changing it.
Yeah. And I think with this also, what I've realized is sometimes things have been in motion for a long time. And now you may be to a point where you're executing on a plan that maybe existed before your awareness of what equity is and how much it means to our community. So I think you also have to be willing to pivot. Also have to be willing to, in real time, wherever you are, reevaluate what you are doing right now.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
And we expect all areas of entertainment in Central Florida to reimagine casting. This is so simple. Don't limit your view of of what Black people can do as far as roles. Honor Black people as real people. We are not a monolith, and allow your casting to reflect that. And don't put us in a box. Consider casting all roles, unless it's a production where it's an old white man. It may not need to be someone who is white. It could be someone of color. That's reimagining it. And also give yourself the freedom and creativity to imagine what adding that person's heritage, their color, what it can do for the story. So that's how you go from colorblind casting to intentionally casting and including people of color and Black people in stories. And Meka always says, why can't the family that's grocery shopping be a Black family? We get groceries too. We want our industry to reflect the world that we live in, especially today. So take yourself out of the box so that you can stop putting Black people and people of color in boxes. You have to think about it that way. If you are having trouble casting this way, it's maybe how you're seeing the world. And that means, that's where the change should lie. So, and we expect an inclusive system of human resources and accountability that provides effective leadership when a person of color hostile work situations. We have a zero tolerance policy on racism in the workplace, no matter how small. So we are requiring and demanding every organization to have a policy that protects against racism, to put that into your code of conduct, to your ethics, have people sign it, you know what I mean? Put it in the contract. It's important. We need to be protected from these situations. And also, that's how you instill it in your culture. It has to be written, and it has to be regarded. So that's where we stand on that. So those were some of the actions that we felt like were reasonable that could be taken right now, so that we could see our industry shift.
Yeah.
So,
and we just
want to bring that back to your attention.
Yeah, we wanted to recap that because, like we said, we've seen some things in the weeks following that we were like, oh, but we talked about that, and so we just encourage you, revisit it. If you have questions, we're here. There's so many resources. There's so many organizations here to help you diversify your organizations. And, we want to work with you, not against you. This is not something that we want to force you to do. This is something that we want you to embrace and to do with us, because it's just what's right, and we hope that, of course, no one's perfect. And this is, for a lot of people, this is new territory, new ground. And we understand that. And so, there will be missteps. And we just want, when the missteps happen, for there to be an openness for dialogue and for correction, and for, it to be brought to you, and for us to work together to fix it. Nothing is not salvageable unless you just are resistant and you don't want it to be. If you want to repair it, if you want reconciliation and healing, the means are there for it to happen. So, don't be afraid of misstepping, but definitely rely on the community to hold you accountable. And when we do, be responsive to that. Because, in a lot of places we have a long way to go. And in some places, they've already been working towards it. And so it may be easier for some than others, but yeah, that does not mean that, we're not here to help you. So we're not trying to redo the forum on this live, but we definitely wanted to take time out to have our area revisit those points of action. And also, we're going to have the pledge available so you can revisit that, like really take to heart what it is that you're committing to and what that looks like for you and your organization. Because like we said, it will be different for everyone. So please, we implore you to revisit those things. So yeah. Thanks, Felichia, for that.
Yeah.
I think it's time for the good news.
Yeah.
I need a...
But
well,
yes.
I don't need a drum roll yet, but get ready, get your drumsticks ready. So with all of that being, you don't have drumsticks? Okay, great.
I have hands.
So with all of that being said, we've had, what is this, 3 weeks since the forum?
Right? Feels like 3 days, but maybe 3 weeks.
Yeah, it might be 3 weeks. I believe it's 3 weeks. I don't think it's been a month yet. But in those 3 weeks, Felichia was so accurate in saying, I've literally been in a meeting every day, sometimes multiple meetings. And what we realized was that the forum literally was just the beginning. Now, I'm going to be all super transparent and honest and tell you that that was not my intention. Like, I wanted to just give y'all the information, and hallelujah, thank you, do with it what you must. Yeah. However, we realized that, that was just the beginning of the work, and the work is definitely not done. And there's so much more left to do. And we started something that we cannot abandon or leave hanging. We've got to see it through. We've got to be able to see it through. So now for the drum roll, Felichia. Oh, yes, that's a good drum roll. With that being said, okay, you got to keep going.
Oh, okay.
We want to announce tonight that CFEA is going to be an organization. Woo! That was our own little personal party. Woo, woo, woo,
yeah.
woo, woo.
So, balloons, all the things.
Yes, we're super excited about it. Nervous.
Yeah.
Woo, nervous. but very excited. And honestly, like I said, we did not set out for this to be a thing. We wanted to do the forum and bring the information that needed to be brought. However, we do understand that there's a need for this in our space, and that, like we said, this was a catalyst, and we started something that is far from being done. And so we thought it would be best suitable to serve our area as a cohesive organization. So now, instead of just the Central Florida Entertainment Advocacy Forum, we are the Central Florida Entertainment Advocacy. So we are here advocating for our community, for our artists, for our leadership, for the collective in our industry to work together and pull together and create the change that we need. So our mission is very simple: to create a more equitable, equal, diverse, and inclusive arts and entertainment industry in Florida. That is our mission.
Yeah.
The Central Florida Entertainment Advocacy. We are so strange. This is what happens. This is what we do in meetings. So we're giving y'all a piece of the behind the scenes of what happens. So yes, I was supposed to put that little CG up, but I couldn't put that up like while I was still talking. I'm not Imani, guys. Shoot me. But yes, there it is. The Central Florida Entertainment Advocacy. And so basically, Felichia and I are the organizers. And that really is our mission. Like, we have that one track mission to create a more equitable, equal, diverse, and inclusive arts and entertainment industry in Central Florida. So some of our goals are to bring industry workers and leaders together in open dialogue. So we will continue to host forums like the one that we had. We will get more specific in our forums, and we will even have workshop type forums where we're not just telling you information, but that we're working through it with you and giving you the actual tools that you need to do this work. So we're definitely really excited about that. And another part is to bridge the gap between white awareness and the Black experience. And that may sound a little not PC, but we wanted it to be for the purpose of, being direct and forward. We have to become more aware of what the Black experience is in order to adequately advocate for what needs to happen in our community. So we want to bridge that gap. And part of what we just got done discussing, we want to develop tangible action steps to build a more racially aware and just theatrical and entertainment landscape. Mm-hmm. So we got those steps, the first initial 5 points of action. 5, do you see that? Oh, 5. We have those already in place, and we'll be building upon that as we check those benchmarks off. We'll be adding to it to make sure that we are never stagnant and that we're always growing and that we're always building. And this one is particularly important, to develop a communal system of accountability to ensure diversity and inclusion are at the forefront of every professional arts entity in Central Florida. That was a mouthful. I'm going to say it again. To develop a communal system of accountability to ensure diversity and inclusion are at the forefront of every professional arts entity in Central Florida. That's huge, y'all. And that basically means that we are building a community that is going to stand together on all of this. It's basically going to be a village. And with the village comes the ability to, let people know, hey, you're doing this great. You're doing this right. We're standing with you. We support you. How can we serve you? What is it that you need? And also, hey, you're getting this way wrong. How can we help you? How can we serve you? What do you need? What's lacking? We want to definitely be that resource, but we want to build this communal sense of accountability where, one person is not fighting their battles alone with an entity they may be going through issues with, that we together as a community come together to work it out, to figure it out. And again, to reiterate, I said it several times in the forum, and we stand by that in this organization, that this is not about condemnation or shame. This is not about putting people on the stake or, cancel culture or anything like that. It is about awareness and change. And that is what we want to bring to the forefront. So with that, we're building our community, and Felicia's going to talk a little bit more about that.
We are building our community from the ground up, but we are inviting you to join. I posted the link in our chat. Click on it and join, and you can, when you're in the group, you can add and invite other people. If you want to get some brownie points, you can do that. We appreciate it, but we're going to transfer all of our communication from Meka. Been using her personal page for everything. But we want to just create a hub where we can talk about these things and where we can continue to provide resources and really just become that community that we're dreaming about. So join the page, invite and share the page on you can share the page on your personal Facebook page so that people can just join it from there. Like, it's so easy to do. But we ask that you do that tonight. Don't wait. And we'll continue to post it so that you and other people can join. And more good news, because we're just so many great things happening right now, is that we are building a website. So like Meka said, this started off as a forum, but now we're an organization, and we have to have an official website to house all of our information. And that's exciting. Not only that, but we've had individual people connect with us wanting to be a part of this team, both allies and members of the Black community. And that is just amazing. So we're going to be working hand in hand on all of this. So you'll see our faces on the website. You'll have access to resources that, that we've created, like the action steps, as well as the pledge. We're going to connect with some other organizations, especially when it comes to film and television, that have some phenomenal resources, because if they're already out there and they're great, just share them and use them and customize them to our community. So we're going to be that place where you can get resources, and not just for entertainment specifically, performing facing and changing your leadership, but also mental health resources. That was a big focus for our forum. I don't know if you on that, and it was somewhat an undertone with all of our messaging, is that racism and these challenges, it really affects your mental health. And so we want to continue to push that message that your mental health is important, to value it, and also provide the resources for that, for everyone, really. And we are going to be that place. I'm telling you, CFEA is going to be that place where you can connect with Black industry professionals, directors, writers, technicians. So no more saying you don't know anyone, because we're going to do the work to make sure that we have all that information in one place so that you can continue to have amazing, inclusive and diverse productions and teams. So yeah, that's going to be some of what's on our website. There's going to be so much more, but that's kind of what we're working on initially. So just to recap, like the Facebook page, and if you're in the Facebook page, you'll be able to get insider information in our group about what's coming up next.
She threw that in. I didn't know about that. Come on, I want some insider information. I love it. Thank you, Felichia. And so I have two very special things that I'm going to announce in conjunction with us building this community. One, Felichia touched on a little. Well, actually, this is -1 because it's two more after that. So this thing is that Felichia touched on it. We definitely need volunteers. We, as an organization, will have representatives from every sector of the arts and entertainment working together. And so we don't want to leave any stone unturned. And some of us, are not involved in every sector. And so we want to be able to have our finger on the pulse of every single sector of the industry. So if you are out there and you want to be a part, the email address is tickering across the bottom, and it's cfeaforum@gmail.com. If you received the e-blast, you could just click on it there and it'll take you right to an already designed email that says sign me up CFEA. So we're ready to sign you up and put you to work. There's so much to be done. And so we've had a lot of people say, how can I help? How can I help? Well,
Yeah.
so glad you asked. So we'll leave that up, and we'll also leave the Facebook link up so that you can go and join that Facebook group. So, two things that we definitely want to announce. In conjunction with becoming an organization, we will have a certified partners program, and this will be fleshed out, and you'll hear more about it as we go along and as the website comes. But basically, this program will be for theaters, entertainment companies, agents, film houses, what have you, where we will have a certain criteria in place, a criteria of equity and diversity that all of these entities can meet to be considered a CFEA certified partner. And basically, what that status will do is tell a person of color, a Black industry professional, hey, this place is safe for me to work. This place is making strides and making efforts for this to be a place for me to be safe and for me to be included.
Yeah.
And the reason, I know, it might be said like, well, why do you want to put a stamp on something, or why do you want to have, some sort of seal of approval? And basically, it's like, anything worth value comes with some sort of certification. And we know that people like to see that things are accredited and that they, have met certain criteria. We expect that from medicine. We expect that from doctors. We expect that from almost everything, even from companies that we work for. And so we want to have that in place, and we want to partner with entertainment entities in Central Florida to be able to say, hey, we're doing the work, we're putting in the effort, we don't want it to go unnoticed. And we want people to know that this is a place that they can come and work and serve and even, be a part of that is both equitable and diverse. And so we are building that criteria now. And I think it's going to be something that is really worthwhile. I think it's going to be something that, we've already presented it to the theater leaders and they were super excited about it. But again, we want it to span the entire entertainment community. And I think it basically just says, it's a step in the accountability process. And it basically says like, hey, I am doing this work, or my organization is doing this work, and we are committed to it. And this is not something that we just set a pledge for in the moment. These are the actual steps that we are taking. These are the tangible benchmarks that we have checked off for our organization. And we'll be able to present that, and you'll be able to wave that banner. And so I think, positive reinforcements like that are so necessary. And I think that they are worthwhile, basically. Felichia, are you frozen? Oh, she's frozen. Oh no, Elsa, come back. Okay. Well, she'll say more about that when she comes back. But also, well, maybe she won't come back. Hopefully she will. We're going to have an official launch for CFEA, and she can't party with me because she's frozen. We were supposed to do our whoop whoops together. But anyway, do your whoop whoops with me at home, wherever you are. So we're going to have an official launch for CFEA. And, oh, there she goes. And it's going to encompass all of those things that we just told you about. We'll be launching the website. We'll be solidifying the online community through Facebook, our certified partners program. And of course, a launch isn't a launch. There you are. Hey, friend. I just announced our official launch.
Oh, yay.
About to tell them about our party. Come on.
Woo!
Without a party,
We like to party.
Hey. Hey. Okay, great. People think we're crazy. So we're going to have a launch party. And the reason we wanted to do that is because we realize that this is heavy work. We realize that, a lot of this is hard. And, that's just real. But we want to find the joy in this wherever and whenever we can. And
Yes,
I
the
think there's going to
joy.
be so much joy in reaching milestones and celebrating with theaters and with organizations when they reach these benchmarks. There's going to be, so much celebration as we grow together. And so we want to find the joy in this whenever we can. Like, we don't want this to be, some finger pointing, bad news bears kind of situation. No, this is going to be great. This is going to be us, excited about running with this torch. It may get hard and it may get heavy. It may get hot and we may get tired, but that finish line is ahead and we all want to celebrate when we get there. So we're going to have a party for this launch because we realize that we're working towards a brand new day. And so we want to start celebrating now for this brand new day that's coming, right?
Yes. It's so important. I love that. And even just doing the work personally, and this being kind of where we live, if we don't have joy, what do we have? And that's why we are performers, because we literally give people joy. So we need to consistently find ways to give that to ourselves as a community. And I believe celebrating our wins along the way is one thing that we can do. And plus, as much as there's so much to change in our community, there's still so much to celebrate, right, where we are with what we have. So I'm going to be excited about us coming together and celebrating the launch of CFEA and all that we're doing. So.
And all of you, because we know that none of this can happen if you all aren't willing, if you guys aren't on board. And the fact that this community is so willing, like, I want to have the party right now. Like, I wanted tonight to be
definitely.
That's why I tried to start with music. But since I'm not Imani, that didn't work. I tried to start with a little music and I was like, yeah. And Felichia was like, no, we didn't hear any of that. So, but I really, and that's just kind of me. Like, I just always want to find the joy even in the hard stuff. And so Felichia and I are of like minds in that. Like, we want to bring out the joy whenever we can. So know that this organization will be well-rounded in that. We will definitely dig in and do the hard work, and we will, be there with our sternness and our criteria, but we will also be cheering you on. We will also be rooting for every single one of you on the sidelines, and we'll be running with you. And every time a goal is reached, we're going to honor and celebrate that. So please know that that is what is ahead. That is what's coming. So thank you to all of you. I see Terry Olson has given us a lot of information in
Yes. Thank you,
the comments. Felichia, if you could make sure to write that down, because I don't have anything over here. I want to make sure that we get back to him with that information. So, and thank you, Jacob. Jacob said, good work, y'all. So important. And thank you, everyone who tuned in tonight. We didn't want that. We wanted this to be a recap. We are not trying to do the forum again, but there were some things that we really did want to touch on and bring back to your awareness. And so we just want you sign up for the Facebook group. Be a part of that. If you would like to be a volunteer, the email address is scrolling down at the bottom. You can just say, sign me up, and we can find the best place for you, the best place that fits you in the organization. And please just be praying for us and, sending us lots of love and encouragement, because trust me when I say starting an organization was not what we set out to do. But here we are, and we are embracing the work like many of you are embracing the work. And so we're all in the trenches together. We're all chartering new territory together. So please know that. And thank you for just being so welcoming and so open to traveling this journey with us. So be on the lookout once we have this website together and it's coming along. We will have the date for our official launch, and then we're going to invite you guys to the party.
Yes.
So again, thank you so much from CFEA.
Yes, thank you guys.
Oh my gosh, we're actually a thing. It's real. Like, there's no going back. There's no going back. It's there. It's on the screen. Like, we can't run from it anymore, Felichia.
It's official.
So thank you guys for all of your support. Again, thank you for attending the forum, and look out for all of the things that we have coming up, because we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop. We've said it before, and you guys are taking hold of it. This is not a moment, it's a movement. So thank you so much. Felicia, any last words?
Yes, thank you, Terry, for chiming in, and Jacob just saying good work, and Sean saying good job, ladies. We appreciate the encouragement. We cannot do this without you. So from the bottom of our heart, Cedric, thank you, thank you, thank you, and anyone who may watch this later. Melba Moore?
Is my Melba watching?
Melba Moore?
Oh,
I'm gonna cry. I am gonna cry. Oh my
hi,
gosh.
Miss Melba. Thank you for watching.
Hi, Miss Melba.
Oh, you really are gonna
Listen.
cry. Oh my gosh.
No, I got love from her.
Yes.
That. Okay, listen.
She's amazing.
Wow.
She's amazing.
Wow.
I did After Midnight with her on the ship, and she is incredible. And thank you, Miss Melba, for watching tonight. That means a lot to obviously both of us.
Yes. She's a part of my artist journey, literally, from that to hair to like everything. So thank you for watching. And Claire, thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you. We love you guys, and we're doing this out of love. So thank you for reciprocating that.
And please, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to email us. And thank you all for giving us grace, because we are catching up to these emails, and we are catching up to all the connections that we still have to make. I know several people have requested to be connected to one person or the other, and we're so excited about that. Like, let me tell you, that's like my biggest win, when people are like, hey, can you connect me with someone? And I'm like, yes, I sure can. So keep that coming. Oh, I miss you too, Miss Melba. Keep that coming. Keep that energy up. We want to keep celebrating the joy that we're bringing to this work. And y'all, we're in it to win it.
Yes.
We're doing it. Thank you, Felicia.
Thank you, Meka. Good night, everyone.
Good night, y'all. Oh, let's see how to do this. You know me, I'm going to be like, oh, wait, I'm not Imani. See, from now on, we definitely have to have Imani, because I don't know what I'm doing.